Hi guys, it's me. I was just setting up for the Thursday night stream like I usually do. For those of you unaware who are new to the channel, every Thursday night I stream on Twitch, and basically through my Twitter I give you the viewers the chance to vote on what I play by using the hashtag ZenVote, and then you put the game you want. And if I have the game, I play the game. It's a fairly simple system. I like to give viewer agency. Anyway, so I'm setting up for it and I come across my 7th last bottle of Iron Brew. And just to make a point, and as you can see, that's 29%. Proper Iron Brew. None of your new brew nonsense. None of this reduced sugar, half it being aspartame, fake brew. Proper brew. And seeing this, dwindling supply kind of got me thinking. It's like towards the beginning and the end of a generation, the console war heats up again. Middle it's not so bad, but towards the end especially, there's always, here we go, console war, and it's so tiring and it's so reductive and it's so pointless. Put it this way, right? I've got to find something new to drink, a new drink that I really like. That's hard, because how do you replace Iron Brew? It is unique. There are no qualifiers. It is unique, right? And to some people, PlayStation is unique. To some people, Nintendo, PC, whatever. Your platform of choice, whatever you make your happy happen. Okay? And that's what gaming is about. Making your happy happen. I don't care what shape of game controller you have in your hands. If that is making your day suck less, if that's where you go for your entertainment, that's where you go for your entertainment. Okay? Now let's say you're a guy that hates Sony, okay? And you want Sony to wither and die, Okay, let's say you get your wish, alright? You know what you've done? Less choices. Think about that for a second, right? Not only have you got less choices, so you've got less places to go for stuff, which means there's less money in the development community, which means studios don't have as much to work with. Okay. Which also means that there's less pushback from the other companies, because then you only really have two companies. Okay, so then games don't really progress as fast. Gaming technology doesn't progress as fast because Nintendo has a very different way of looking at things, a very different way of doing things. So let's say Nintendo dies instead. Okay, so Nintendo's dead. So the quirkier side, the imaginative side is gone. And as nutty as Nintendo is, sometimes you need that level of nutty, because without Nintendo's level of nutty, we wouldn't have gotten motion controls. But okay, not everybody likes them, but they have proven useful in some very important areas, like VR. My motion controllers, my moves, are very important in some of my VR games. The D-pad. Nintendo invented the D-pad. Do you get where I'm going here? Right? Every time if you remove any one of the players, you remove large chunks of what makes gaming gaming. But what's really important when you really get down and look at the nitty-gritty of this is, as gamers, we don't really have a whole lot of choice. Take, if you will, cars. You want a car, okay? What do you want that car for? Do you want it to transport your family? Do you want to be a speed guy? Are you looking to transport goods? Is it just for you and your partner? There are a myriad of reasons to own a car, and sometimes multiple reasons at the same time. Not only are there a zillion different types of car for a zillion types of purposes, but there are umpteen companies that make cars. I mean, Ford, BMW, Toyota, Mitsubishi, Audi, Volkswagen, the list goes on and on and on for car companies, big and small. And you can buy cars up the wazoo, you know? I mean, it's like, seriously, I mean, every car company, right, has multiple models, of most every kind of car you could ever want. That's not even talking about vans. Some of the car companies even do motorbikes. Okay? Imagine if there were only 3 car companies. Imagine that for a second. You can't, can you? You can't wrap your head around the idea that there will only ever be 3 car companies. That's just nuts. Or, say there were only ever 3 people on the planet to make anything, any other item. I mean, even TVs. I mean, you're watching this on a TV right now, probably. Or even a smartphone. Think how many smartphone makers there are. I mean, Apple, Sony, Huawei, Windows, OnePlus, Google, Samsung, and all the Wii companies. It's like a zillion smartphones. Imagine if there were only 3 smartphone makers. That wouldn't be so hot, would it? So as gamers, we're stuck in this very little ecosystem. It's like, we've got this tiny, tiny little ecosystem. And each one has only got basically 1 machine at a time. Alright? Sorry guys. So here we are, towards the end of the 8th gen. And we've got a PS4, admittedly with its Pro model and of course the PlayStation VR. Right? And Vita. But the Vita's from last gen technically, and it's a handheld. So it kind of counts and it kind of doesn't count at the same time. PlayStation VR, of course, is an entity in its own right, but it requires the PS4 to run. So you can see the trouble with that. Okay? So without the PS4, you can't really have the PSVR at this point. So, technically speaking, there's one PlayStation, even though there's a higher grade version, technically it's still PlayStation 4, it's still playing the same games. They just look nicer. Xbox. Okay, you've got your Xbox One, you got your Xbox One S, and you got your Xbox One X. Still technically the same system, right? They're just 2 ways of being nicer and even nicer. Okay? But still basically one system. Nintendo. Alright? You've got your Switch. And you've got your Switch. Okay? And eventually, the DS is going to go away. And I, for one, don't think the DS is going to be replaced. The Switch is going to become everything. That's Nintendo's messaging. It is your home system and your on-the-go system. It's a hybrid. Which is one of the reasons why you're never going to be able to run something super crazy on it. You could never run a really big game on it. I mean, look why they've had to crunch down Doom on that thing. But they did it. But yeah. It's not going to be... It's never going to have the power of the other 2. Because there's just not the space. And, you couldn't really cram all that into something you go mobile without spending serious money. So let's think about that, right? Cars and phones and such, how you have all these companies, all these choices. And as gamers, we have effectively 3 choices. 3 choices. Gets you thinking, doesn't it? So maybe, just maybe, all these people go like, oh, I don't like Microsoft. Oh, they are doing this and they're doing that and they wanted DRM and oh, I don't like the position of the sticks on the controller. I think Microsoft should just die because they don't give me any exclusives and Phil Spencer is just a bit smarmy. Oh, dear God. Right. You can't apply that kind of thinking because 1, you sound like a child, and 2, it's like then you wanna take it down to 2 choices. It just doesn't make sense. When you really start to dig into it, guys, it doesn't make sense, right? In fact, if anything, we could really do with another console company. But you know what? Due to the nature of the industry, there isn't room for one. I mean, back in the day, some of you younger ones won't remember this, but Sega was a major console player, right? We had the Master System 2, the Mega Drive, or if you're in the States, I forgot what you call it now, Genesis. Then there was the Dreamcast, and then there was Sega Saturn, and then there was the Dreamcast. I got it mixed up. Wingy's gonna hate me for that because Wingy's like the Sega boy. Anyway, so yeah, Sega used to be a big player in the console space, and they were great at it. You know, they made some incredible stuff. They brought out some incredible things. I mean, have you ever played Crazy Taxi? Or Jet Set Radio? Hell, Sonic? Golden Axe? I mean, you know, the amount of games that Sega put out back in the day were incredible. I mean, Afterburner. There's too many games to mention. Sega were, at one point, the kings of not just the consoles, but the arcades. Honestly, God, Sega put out so much great stuff in the arcades, and they gave, you know, other companies a chance to shine. I mean, back when Mortal Kombat first hit, and I'm sure a lot of you know that Mortal Kombat, you know, that you must know Mortal Kombat. Come on, right? Back in the day, right? Back in the 90s, if you wanted to play Mortal Kombat at home, you had 2 options, funnily enough. Alright? There was no Sony. There was no Microsoft. There literally was Sega and Nintendo, and that was it. There's a few little tiny players, like there were at one point Commodore had a CD based system and stuff, but yeah, there was just 2 players. And both machines had Mortal Kombat. And you know what? People preferred a lot of people preferred the version that Mega Drive had, on the Mega Drive, because the Mega Drive version, even though it was lower poly, it looked less visually nice. It had the blood, and what's Mortal Kombat without the blood? Nintendo had green blood. Admittedly, there was a cheat you could put in that would turn the blood red, but you had to do a lot. And after a while, it's just like, I've got to do this every single time I want to play Mortal Kombat. People just got annoyed, and they played it on the Sega system. So, what I'm effectively saying is, your console war is bogus. You're wanting other companies to die is stupid. Alright? Enjoy the consoles, because trust me, it could be a lot worse. Anyway, guys, rate, favourite, comment, share, subscribe, and of course, as always, nae bother.